All right. We back. We apologize for that. Things do happen, but we are back online, y'all. You know how technology can get, right? You good?
Yep.
All right. All right, let's get back into it. I'm going to try and pick off. I don't even know where we left off here, but you know what? Let's just do a quick little recap. Okay. Well, first of all, my guy should be online shortly. I got Alex E. Edwards. We're going to be talking to him shortly. He's from Thumb Realty. And matter of fact, as I say his name, he pops up right there. Let's just bring him up real quick. My guy, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Alex E. Edwards. What's happening, man?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? We woke up today.
Listen, man. With technology, we definitely woke up. That's always a beautiful thing. But with technology, man, we always gonna make it happen, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
I can't complain. How's things at Thumbprint?
Everything's well at Thumbprint. Everything's well. I see you. You in your element. This is something that you always talked about. So I'm happy to see you and hear you back on the radio, man.
Hey, well, thank you, man. Thank you. Once it's in your blood, man, that's it, man. It don't ever go away.
Hands out. I was thinking about this the other day. Once you live in your purpose, you will never go broke.
Ooh.
Like once you live in your purpose, you will never go broke. Right. Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan. Balling, bro. Michael Jordan was killing the game. Right. That man went to baseball. We was like, yo, who is that? Guy was like, yo, that's not your gift. So you're not winning no titles over here. He had to come back to his purpose and took off again.
True. That is so true, man. It's the thing. You have to live by that, folks. But hey, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you up on here, man, is because, as you know, the rental laws in real estate have changed. Well, I wouldn't say drastically, but to the point where it affects how we do business as agents, as brokers. Things are different, man. I want to talk about the commissions when it comes to rentals. What are your thoughts about the new law, which says that a renter now does not have to pay broker fees to agents unless she hires that agent? Then it's a different story, but it pretty much changes the game for the majority when it comes to rentals. What's your thoughts when it comes to that?
I think the real estate industry, to me, is under attack right now. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of politics in real estate. For the last 2 years, is just under attack. So, for this particular change, it could go either way. Honestly, it could help the agent, and it could also help actually both agents, right? And it could help the tenant, to be honest, right? On the agent side, if the agent's representing the landlord, the rules say if the landlord hire you, that person must pay you, right? So with that being said, the agent's happy because I'm going to get a check from the landlord, right? Because what we used to say is, hey, landlord, I'll advertise your home for free, but get the fee from the agent, from the tenant. That's what we used to do to get the listings. But now the landlord has to pay. You're going to get paid regardless. Then on the other side, guess what? I don't have to share my commission because I'm not paying the other agent because, have your tenant pay you because the law says whoever hire you, pay you. So that could be a big blow to the tenant now, because I could have gave your agent half of mine so you didn't have to pay. But since the rules are, I didn't my side didn't hire you. Now you got to pay regardless.
Right.
And I think that's somewhat of a loophole there. And that's unfortunate. And then on the other side, I agree with the tenants honestly used to pay a down payment. Let's be honest, right? And they still going to pay a down payment because the rent prices is steady now. But if it keeps going up, it's still a lot to come to the table. You still talking about first, last, security, and you still could add a rental fee on that. That's still a lot.
Now, personally, I never put all that for the tenant to pay. Yep. I would talk to the landlord and I would say, listen, this is the deal. I got to get paid. You can pay me, but I can also get the money from the tenant.
Correct.
Right? So what do you want? What's most important? Is it first and last? Is it first and security? Whatever it is, give me 2 of those. I'll add my fee on top of it. It's a king ransom anyway, but if you add all 3 plus that, then it's hell. And then they got to have moving expenses. They got to hire a mover, you know.
But that's you, Steve. That's you, though.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm the mover. I'll get my guy involved,
Yeah.
of course.
No, meaning you're the one that's saying, hey, pick 2. Right. You can go on MLS right now. You see all 4.
That's correct. That's correct. You're right. You're right.
And so what problem did we solve?
Well, I think it's not even a problem nothing's being solved, to be honest, because the real problem is what it costs for people to rent in the first place.
Correct.
If that doesn't change, that's the only thing that could really solve the problem, in my opinion. But to take it even further, I believe the reason why we're going through all this is because you have corporations getting involved in real estate now. They're buying up a lot of these properties. You'll be surprised. Well, I'm sure you're not surprised, but the average person will be surprised how many corporations own single-family homes nowadays. And guess what they're not doing with those single-family homes? They're not selling them.
They're not selling it.
So that kind of changes the game. And if you want to look at why these new laws are coming up, we don't know what's going on, you know, at the back of the house or, you know, the back of the bar. You know what I'm saying? What kind of deals are being cut? But I can promise you these corporations is the reason why a lot of this is happening in the first place. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, buying single families. Now, I guarantee, I know this is going to be, I know everyone in the world is going to see this clip. If corporations buying single families, name one tenant that wouldn't rent a single family versus an apartment. They are going to corner the market, bro. It's game over. Name one tenant and I'd rather to second floor instead of single family home.
Yeah, the game's changing. The game is changing. And it first started with our broker fees when it came to sales.
Yeah,
a year ago. So what's next? What's next?
Oh, something else is coming down the pipeline. Is not final yet, but the way we renew leases, it might change. It didn't come down the pipeline yet, but the way we renew leases might change. You might have only a window to renew that lease, and if just like Section 8, if you miss that window, you gonna be stuck with that particular person for the next year. So that's going to be next. And again, this is what I truly think. We didn't solve the problem with having a bad landlord or a bad tenant, right? We didn't solve that problem. If a landlord, and I call a small landlord, is 3 under 10 homes, if that landlord have, say, 5 bad tenants or even 4, that could cripple that landlord. But you go to the state, it's going to take you 6 months to a year to get that person out, right? And then you're going to finally settle because you're sick and tired of going to court. It's like, yo, you know what? I don't want no money. Just walk. Or, hey, yeah, they owe me money, but they don't have nothing. You can't repo anything. You can't take nothing from them because they don't have anything.
Yeah.
So it's a lose. It's still problems not solved. And I think we're looking.
Right. And it's not like you can put a judgment on their credit. You could do that in the past, but not anymore.
Hands down, I think there's bad tenants and I think there's bad landlords. That's it, right? And I think we need to figure and create, I think the easiest way to me, if I was sitting in front of the governor, I'll say, look, let's create this policy. If a landlord and tenants have a dispute, the tenant should still pay rent, but pay it in an escrow. We'll find an escrow agent, put the rent in escrow. Until this is resolved, the landlord can't get the funds, but the tenant still has to pay.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good idea, but at this point, it's not going to happen.
Oh,
it's not going to happen, man. I mean, right now, it's just things are to the point where if you're in the game, if you're an agent, even if you're a broker, you got to really look at what things are going to look like 3 to 5 years down the road. or maybe even 2 to 5 years down the
Yep.
road, because technology is changing, as you know.
Yep.
A lot of different things are going on and being talked about. Like you said, you think the leases renewal, that's the next thing that's going to happen.
And I think it is. You heard it
Yeah.
first. It is happening.
Okay. Wow.
I knew about this. I knew about this change a year and a half ago.
Mm, mm.
Right? It's going to happen. But look, for all the tenants and all the agents, all the landlords, it's simple. Whoever hire you pays you, right? And if you are a tenant and you hiring a agent, and if you're an agent working with a tenant, make sure you keep the paperwork.
Yeah.
Keep the keep the proof. Keep the proof. Just keep paper. Remember that. Keep paperwork. That's very important. You don't want. I don't want anyone out here paying fees, just not knowing any better. Just keep the paperwork.
Have all your disclosures. Yep.
Everything. Right.
Yeah.
Rules is going to change. That doesn't mean you jump off the cliff. That means you work with it. You say, all right, how can I win with this change?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what's the big picture in your opinion, man? All of this stuff going on now. You got a lot of agents out here, man. What's the big picture in your opinion?
My opinion, I'm gonna say this, and I've been said this. Zillow is trash. Zillow is like when we use Zillow. When we use Zillow,
you know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that, but watch this. When we use Zillow, what we did was fund the war against us. That's it. We fund the war against us. All the information they receive from us, all the advertisement dollars they receive from us. Even when you use Zillow, you put your face go on there, but it's like 3 other agents on there. You know what I'm saying? So I think Zillow is trash, and I think they are playing both sides right now. And a big corporation like that could kill the industry for agents. I truly believe that the industry, well, I would say they want to take the power away from real estate industry point blank. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. You could become an agent and work your butt off and start today, and by next year you could be making 300 grand or more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You could, and then and controlling the wealth. You are front line for wealth. I always said we was wealth givers. We see the wealth and we find wealth for other people so they could purchase. So if you really think about it, real estate agents, brokers, they have a lot of power, and they could turn any neighborhood the way they want to. Because if I say, look, I'm going to focus on one neighborhood and find all the good deals and sell it to this group of people, I can.
That's true.
Or say I'm going to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the corporations like that. I don't think they like it.
No, they definitely don't like it. But their goal is, you got to understand with corporations too. They have their goal every year is to do what? Make more money.
Yep.
Okay. And so right now, one of the ways for them to make more money, and you got to remember over the years, they're actually executing that with different things. But at some point you run out of ideas, right? So here we now have real estate. And like you said, Zillow is one of them. You're not going to see Zillow as an actual owner on the house. They're going to come up with some other name, LLC or corporation, to hide that. The same thing with BlackRock. They're all doing the same thing. And it's a major problem in the South right now. It's all over the South. I can't say it's here in Massachusetts yet, but it's coming.
Compass said, look, we want private showings. We want private listings, meaning I could get a listing and don't put it on MLS.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time Zillow spoke up like, hell, I'm against it. I'm against it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how they make money, by MLS and going on Zillow. That's
game.
That's game.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Instead, oh no, that's true. It's going to say, they believe that it's going to help the renters. It's really not, if you ask me, because no matter what, they're paying the money. They're going to pay the money. It's just not all necessarily going to go to us.
And at this point, if I'm an agent, if I'm working with tenants right now, what I'm doing is I'm marketing tenants out like ASAP, because you heard the law, you have to pay me.
Yeah.
You got to pay me. I'm gonna focus on the renters. Oh, you got to pay me. You got to pay me. I don't need to focus on the landlord that much anymore, because I'm getting my money regardless from the tenant, because whoever hire you has to pay you.
In the last 2 days, my phone's been going bananas for rentals. The last 2 to 3 days been going bananas for rentals. So folks are, and probably a lot of it has to do, school is around the corner. So I know it's a lot of that, but it's something that needs to be talked about more. I don't know if there's anything we can do as agents or even as people, but it's a problem. It's a problem, man.
We could educate. I think that's the best thing to do. It's always loopholes to rules, and I think as agents, don't get caught trying to be smarter than the law, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's a loophole, you still want to be ethical. At the end of the day, you still want to be ethical, because you don't want to destroy your name and you don't want to lose a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, right? Everyone needs someone
fined in suspension.
Correct. Everyone needs somewhere to live, and everyone is trying to get ahead. So I would say, even if you see a loophole in these new rule change, just be ethical. You know what I'm saying? If someone comes to your open house and they're not represented, but you representing the landlord, don't say, you know what? So you're not represented. I could represent you, and I'm representing the landlord, so I could eat twice. Your job is to find the best tenant for the landlord. So just do that, even if that person's not represented and they came to your open house. Because I seen that online, like, oh yeah, I'm double dipping now. It's game over. This is a win-win situation for me, because I'm gonna have an open house and the tenant's not gonna have a representative, and they're going to have to hire me now. So I would just say, just be ethical and don't get in trouble. Protect your name. Just protect your name.
Right. Good stuff, man. Well, I don't want to hold you up, man. I know you got a lot going on today. Want to thank you for stopping through and just giving us your knowledge on these new laws when it comes to rentals. I'm just hoping in the end, like you said, it's all about education and just being knowledgeable. But I think we all, as agents, we can't ignore what's going on. You're going to have to take a look at it. You're going to have to make adjustments. And that's really what it's all about. You got to make adjustments, because right now the business isn't going anywhere, but you're going to have to look at where it's going and make adjustments according to that, man.
And diversify your funds and how you make money in real estate as well. You have to add that. And then for the landlords and for the tenants, just Google tenant and landlord law in Massachusetts. So you guys could be on point. And I just don't want no one to lose money or get in trouble. It's up there. It's starting on the 1st tomorrow. Just read before you rent to someone else or advertise or hire another agent. Just read it, and you protect yourself.
Right, no doubt. Hey, thanks again, man. Looking forward to that next deal we do. It's been a minute.
Hey, let's go. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex E. Edwards from Thumbprint Realty. Thank you again, my brother.
All right, peace.
Indeed. Yes. All right. So we got a lot of other things to talk about, and we're going to get into some more of that a little later on. But just good information, especially if you're an agent or a broker in this business, man. It is changing. Real estate is changing, and a lot of it does have to do with the technology, but it also has to do with corporations wanting to make more money. They have to find other ways and other means to make more money. That's just how it is. And I don't care. It's not just real estate. It's with any and everything. They are getting involved. How can we get a piece of that pie? That's why when you start a business, if you blow that business up to a certain level, they're going to come knocking at your door. These major corporations are going to come knocking at your door, because their goal every year is to do one thing, and that's to make more money. How can we make more money? So start you got a business venture idea and you get it started and you get it pumped up to a certain level, you can sell that baby for millions of dollars. You can. So I think that's what's going on with real estate. They see that over the years, real estate has been, one of the quickest and fastest ways to make money. It's always been like that from day one. And you know why? Because people will always need a place to live. That's just a fact. People will always need a place to lay their head, and therefore, we'll pay for that. We'll pay for comfort. So these big corporations, they're in. They're like, yo, get out the way, move, and they're doing what they can to get these laws passed, in my opinion. I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with helping out the tenant, because if you really want to help out the tenant, all you got to do is lower the rents.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you got to do. That's the answer. The answer is not taking money out of our pockets, because guess what? If you lower the rents, we still get paid.
Right.
It won't be as much, but if it's affordable to you and you're able to pay that money, then guess what? Even the money you pay me makes things affordable for me to pay when it comes to other things, because that just helps the economy anyways, period.
Mm-hmm.
If people got more money to spend, if they got more money in their pockets, they got more money to spend. It just works better all the way around. So the answer is to not take money out of the broker's pocket, because that's a job for us. The answer is to lower the damn rents. Lower the rents. And in return, guess what? It's going to help out when it comes to buying properties as well, because it's going to lower the values of property, but guess what? It's also going to lower the interest rates. It might not be good for current owners, right? But if it's really about the tenants and you're really trying to solve that problem, the only answer is to lower the rents. That's the real answer. Not taking money out of our pockets. So, so that was some good insight there, man. I'm glad I caught him. And thanks for coming on again, Alex. What else is going on? I want to talk about the greatest transferring of wealth. And with that being said, I want to play this clip for you real quick.
Crypto's not going anywhere either. But AI is literally like the world is not even going to look the same in 5 and 10 years. It's going to be completely different.
This is going to be the greatest wealth transfer. Right? This moment in time, we said it last night, this is the most important time in terms of investing. We've never seen returns like this. We've never seen a company go up by 5,000%. We've never seen a $4 trillion company, let alone a $3 trillion company. And like that's happening in this lifetime, as we talk about.
All right. I wanted to play that clip. First of all, I think everyone should follow those guys. Earn Your Leisure. Those are my guys. They are on point with a lot that's going on with the stock market and crypto as of recent, because they weren't always on top of the crypto. I think we were on top of the crypto here at the station way before them and a few other folks that are aligned with it right now. But follow them because, they are a wealth of information when it comes to stocks and just finances, period. Especially for you, I think. I agree. I believe you should definitely follow those guys. They are on point. They're giving you something of quality every single day when it comes to finances and what you should be doing. And you can even research the information that they're giving you. You can do that, and you'll see that, they're just on point all the time. Now, one of the things he said in the end, the greatest transferring of wealth. We've been saying that here for a long time. We've been talking about the greatest transferring of wealth in history. It really is. What's happening now is the greatest transferring of wealth in history. And the reason why is because you've never had trillions of dollars come into the marketplace ever in the history of this world. Never mind the country. In the world, you've never had trillions of dollars being poured into AI, being poured into blockchain technology, and all that infrastructure is being built right now. And it's just opportunity after opportunity for any and everyone to invest in certain stocks and to invest in certain cryptos. Now, he's not lying when he said we've never. I'm going to play the clip one more time. Just pay attention to what he's talking about.
Crypto's not going anywhere either. But AI is literally like the world is not even going to look the same in 5 and 10 years. It's going to be completely different.
This is going to be the greatest wealth transfer. Like this moment in time, we said it last night, this is the most important time in terms of investing. We've never seen returns like this. We've never seen a company go up by 5,000%. We've never seen a $4 trillion company, let alone a $3 trillion company. And like that's happening in this lifetime as we talk about.
You've never seen a company go up 5,000%, not 5%, 5,000%. Do the math. Do the math. That's real talk right there. Do the math on what do you have in your bank account right now, and do the math on 5,000% in a year. And then come talk to me about why you're not paying attention and why you're not invested. And he's talking stocks. I haven't even mentioned the gains in crypto, because the gains in crypto outdo the stock market. It puts the stock market to shame, which is why everybody is on it right now in terms of the banks, right? The banks didn't want you on it for one reason only. They didn't, for you to get into the crypto game, that means you have to take your money out of their banks. They didn't want that. That's why they lied to you over the years. That's why they made up things saying like it was a scam. That's why they said it was being used by drug dealers and money launderers. And it probably was, but so wasn't the US dollar. And tell me if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? So 5,000% is nothing to be played with, right? So let's just run some numbers real quick. Okay? I don't know what particular stock he was talking about, but let's just say, and I'm going to just let's say you got $41,000 in one of your bank accounts and it just sits there for whatever purpose. You got it saved up. Let's just say 41,000 times 5,000%. That's $2 million. That's over $2 million. If you had that money sitting in whatever stock he was talking about, you would have made $2 million off of 41,000 in the last 12 months. And I don't know what particular stock he's talking about, but he's not lying. That's the truth. Folks are missing out on those type of gains right now, right? Now, let me do it. Okay, so that was whatever particular stock he was talking about. Let's see. In crypto, Saros, right? It's a particular cryptocurrency. It is up 19,672% in the last 12 months. SAROS is up 19,672%. So let's do that again. What did I say? $41,000 times 19,672%. That's over $8 million. Now, I'm going to tell you wow.
I could be rich by now.
That's crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now that you may not believe this. Saros, if you had bought it a year ago, was way under a penny.
Really?
It was way under a penny. And I wish I could show the screen that I'm looking at. I'm going to see next time. I'm going to see if I can set it up so I can show you, because I like to show people things. You know, I don't just want to talk about it. I want to show you. But because you can't look at it, I'm just going to give you some real numbers. Matter of fact, let me just do it on my phone. Let me do it on the phone. I'm going to give you some real numbers, right? I just want to see what the all-time low of that was. Okay, Saros. Okay, to buy it now, it's 36 cents. But if you would have bought it at its all-time low when it first came out, we're looking at 0.0009979 cents. That's way under a penny. Okay. So let's say you bought, I'm going to do some math real quick. Let me do some math. Okay. I'm going to do that number right now. 0.00097. Oh, nope, I did it wrong. Let's go back. Okay. 0.0009979 cents. All right. And let's say you bought, if you bought back then, let's say you bought 250,000 of those. All right. So I'm going to do times 250,000. You know what it would have cost you to buy that back then?
Probably.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know.
$249 to get 250 shares of that if you would have bought that over 12 months ago. $249 would have bought you. Wow. That is 250,000 shares. Okay. So let's do the math now where it is, right? What does it cost? What did I say it costs to buy? It costs 36 cents. If you were to buy it now, let's do the math on that. 250,000 times 36. Oh, nope, I did that wrong. 250,000 times 0.36 equals, that's $90,000.
Oh.
You would have made, oh, wait a minute. Did I do that right? Hold on. I'm trying to show the profit. Let me do this again. Hold on. Let me back up. I might have fell off right there. So you got 250,000 that you bought for 200. It cost to get 250,000 shares. It cost you $249,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to multiply your 250 shares times 0.36 cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have made $90,000.
Mm-hmm.
So $249 12 months ago, you would be up $90,000 right now.
Wow.
Where can you make that kind of money? Investing in 12 months.
Crazy.
That's sick. So if you would have spent $500, then you would have 500,000 shares. And then you would have 180,000 and so on and so on and so on. Just imagine if you would have bought 1,000, like, yo, listen, if you understand the numbers, I think that's the most important piece. You got to understand when it's not just understanding what crypto is. You definitely have to know what it is. But to get caught up in it, if you understood the numbers like how I just explained it, especially for all the youngins, like young kids, listen, y'all should be all over this. You got the money to invest. And it could be $25 here, $50 here, $100 here, $10 here. All right, $10 only got me that much, but you're building on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all in all, and if you're really into it, then you're going to know where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how I explained earlier before we lost our feed. So early on, if you were locked in, I was explaining what happened to me last Saturday. Last Saturday, I mobile deposited a check at 10:30 at night on a Saturday night. I mobile deposited a check. Normally, when I deposit a check, majority of the time it clears the next day. But on occasion, like recently with other checks, one check took 7 days, another took like 4 days. So that was different. That hasn't happened in a while where I had to really wait for a check to clear. It usually cleared in a day. But on a Saturday night, 10:30 on a Saturday night, I mobile deposited a check. And the message I got back was instant funds available. This is on a Saturday night, non-business day. I mentioned that to a friend. Oh, maybe you got the money to cover it. No, this had nothing to do with the money to cover it. It said from this particular check, instant funds available. Having the money to cover is not instant funds. Instant funds were available. And the reason why the instant funds were available, if I had to guess, if I had to say, because of what I know about the technology, the blockchain technology, specifically the ISO 2022 blockchain, and what it does, which is it allows banks and financial institutions to move money fast. It allows them to move it in seconds. Okay? When normally, if you want to send someone $10,000 or a few, whatever it is, right? Especially let's 10,000. I always use this example. You want to send your friend $10,000 in California, you got to wait 20. You got to wire it, and you got to wait 24 hours, and it's going to cost you at least 4% to do that, right? So now those days are over when it comes to that. You no longer have to wait 24 hours. Now I don't know if the banks have permission to do that. I don't think that they have the technology to do it now. I don't think they all lined it up where you'll be able to go in the bank and do it today. I don't think they're totally on the go with that right now. But like I said, when I did that mobile deposit, it said instant funds available on a Saturday night, a non-business day. That's never, ever happened before. I'm telling y'all, listen, man, or listen to my guys once again.
Crypto's not going anywhere either. But AI is literally like the world is not even going to look the same in 5 and 10 years. It's going to be completely different.
This is going to be the greatest wealth transfer. Like this moment in time, we said it last night, this is the most important time in terms of investing. We've never seen returns like this. We've never seen a company go up by 5,000%. We've never seen a $4 trillion company, let alone a $3 trillion company. And like that's happening in this lifetime as we talk about it.
Yeah. It's the truth. It's never happened before. The greatest transferring of wealth. And so many people aren't paying attention. And y'all gonna miss the boat if you don't. I'm telling you right now, it ain't too late. The only thing about coming in now, you're gonna pay more. You definitely pay more because you waited. You didn't pay attention a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. You wasn't paying attention. The stuff you was paying attention to was more important than finances when it's one of our biggest problems. Now, we're the leaders in a lot of things. Like my guy said, John, is it John Hope? I might be saying his name wrong. John said this recently. When it comes to moving the needle, as people, we move the needle on everything. We move the needle on everything. If we were united, oh man, we could really move the needle on so many things where the changes are like massive and will have a major effect on all of our lives. If we were to unify and move the needle, oh my God. But instead of what's happening, like we've mentioned, time in and time out, we pay attention to the wrong things. We pay attention to things that it really is more entertaining than importance in our lives, because a lot of those things aren't important. A lot of the entertaining stuff we talk about isn't important, but it is entertainment. And we're drawn into it, and we're not drawn into the things that are important in our lives, though. And this is the stuff that's going on now is very important, man. Very important, because at the end, the end of the day, we all got to live. You know, we all got to support our families. And then you're in college, right?
Yeah.
That's not, you already talked about what it costs to go out and eat. You know, have you seen your tuition bill?
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know, and the thing about college, you know, I won't say what I've said in the past about college with you here.
Okay.
I'll keep that to myself. I think what's most important for students in college today, make as many connections as you can while you're going to school, while you're in school. Everybody's important because you're all in college. You don't know what the person sitting to the left of you, you don't know who he or she's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
What I learned back in the day when I went, man, let me tell you, a lot of good friends, a lot of great relationships. And it was kind of like everybody I worked with, man, it's a long list of people in high positions. You know what I'm saying? So you never, in going to school back then, that's not the mindset. You're not thinking this person's going to be president or this person's going to run this and that. You're not thinking none of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? But the idea is to just, you know, good relationships, you know? Don't fall into, and I know a lot of time when young kids, this person is that, I don't like him or I don't like her, because don't fall into that. If someone doesn't like a person, leave that to them.
Yeah.
That's their business. Don't you fall into it. Just, you know, no, well, okay. It's not my relationship. What's up, JG? That's our comedian here, the station man. Anytime you want to be entertained, he got you. He got you. For real. What time is it here? What is the clock? Yeah, it's almost time to get out of here. But yeah, man, let me tell you again, you know, if you want to learn this blockchain stuff, you know, I've been doing workshops. I need to do another one, but if someone wants to put together a private one, whether it's a group of 5, whether it's your family, hit me up. Hit me up. One of the things I like to do when I do the workshops is I want to keep it basic. I like to keep it basic because if you don't understand them, and although there's a list of things you need to learn with that, you have to understand the basics to even understand the idea of blockchain technology. If you don't understand the basics and you're jumping from, instead of starting at A and you're going all the way to XYZ, you're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your money because you have to understand not only what it is, you got to understand how it works. You got to understand the cycle, although the cycle's messed up right now. And this is probably, it's not a new cycle, but the cycle is changing. The cycle of crypto is changing. Okay. We talk about that, but you have to understand where it's going. And I'll just tell you real quick. The infrastructure is being built. Everything is going to the blockchain. I mentioned the stock market earlier. Yes, the stock market is going to the blockchain. They're probably, in fact, they're already on it. You know, they're already on the blockchain, but soon there'll be 24 hours. You go buy some ice cream. Well, what flavor do you want? Give me a vanilla and, you know, sherbet, whatever. Okay. All right. Click on the blockchain. Boom. The thing about the blockchain, what happens on the blockchain stays on the blockchain, kind of like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens on the blockchain is there for life. You can't change. Yeah, you can't change it. It's a good thing, though. It's a good thing because it reduces fraud. Not to say fraud can't happen, but if you're going to commit fraud on the blockchain, guess where they can find you? On the blockchain. Yeah. They can find you on the blockchain, which is why when those corporations used to say, you know, it's for criminals and money laundering, I disagree. What criminal wants to be seen? None of them. None of them. You know, if they're smart, the last place you're going to do something illegal would be on the blockchain because it stays there forever. And it's living proof of what happened, you know, transaction wise. So I'll leave it at that, folks. You know, again, I think like my guy said, man, it's the greatest transferring of wealth. I'm gonna add history because nothing like this has ever happened before with the changes in technology, especially in AI. Every child should be learning AI. I believe in Japan they start them at 3 years old or 2 years old, something like that.
Learning AI.
Learning AI at 2 and 3 years old. Yeah. Yep. So we're just different. We'll always last. You know,
Yeah.
we'll always last. I think if I'm you and I'm in college, I'm telling you now, focus on that tech. You know, focus on whatever it is you want, but how can you relate that to the technology that's about to take over?
Right.
How can you flip that so that it all coincides? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Because the one thing about AI that we've mentioned before on this show is that 300 million jobs has already started. You know, it's going to be gone. It's taken over. It's the truth. 300 million jobs going to be gone. But at the same time, AI is going to need data people. AI is going to need someone to, when AI messes up, if it messes up or however it messes up or goes down, they're gonna need people for that. So as many jobs that will be lost, that many jobs will also be created.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you have to know AI.
Okay.
And I'm gonna leave it at that, folks. I guess your moms didn't want no smoke with you this morning, huh?
I'll probably hear an earful when I go back home.
Moms, you didn't want no smoke with your daughter, putting you on blast like that, trying to put her out. Nah, I get it though. I'm telling you, I get it because my kid has been back and forth. I'm like, yo, that's my office, man. You know, don't play with me. That's my office. But nah, thank you for hanging around.
Thank you
And
for having me.
you know, anything you wanna give a shout out to anybody? Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? Or you would like to, get some information on?
I don't know. I think I'm just like absorbing all of this information,
Right.
and I'm like trying to break it down and like understand it better since I'm not really big on crypto or investment or just like numbers in general.
Mhm.
But I feel like that just listening to you and then to Alex and then listening to the video multiple times and
Mhm.
like sitting here and actually trying to digest it in my head, I really feel like I do need to like hop on my Zoom and actually like look at this because I feel like I am going to be a little bit behind. But if I actually do start doing something
Mhm.
within the world of crypto, I can at least be in a better position than I am going to be in like
Right.
from yesterday.
Right. Well, anything I could do to help you, I always like helping folks out. So if you need my help or assistance, knowledge, whatever, I'll be more than happy to help.
Thank you.
But thank you for coming on the show and hanging out. And moms, you got a good one here. Good job. Good job. Don't be putting her out like that so quick. You know what I mean? Listen, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
All right, we out here, folks. R&B Vibes up next. Urban Heat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.